ESA Summer 21. My name is Sam Without a Plan, your host for the Golden Sun Race. We are out here raising money this week for Save the Children. And as always, links to donate can be found below the stream, or you can type !donate in the chat. We'd also like to thank Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. And now I'm going to hand it over to you, Plexa, Bluezer, and Bowie the Hero. Good luck with the run.
Thank you very much indeed, Sam. Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. It is very late over here in Europe. It's currently half 3 for me. Obviously, not so bad for Plexa and Blue.
И это гонка Plexa против Bluezer.
Let's start the run and we'll start cracking on with all of the stuff to talk about when we get into it. So, are you boys ready?
Ready. One sec. Yeah, ready.
Раннер уже готовы.
Well, let's do the countdown then. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Sweet. Welcome to Golden Sun. The land of Wayard. It's a disc-like planet that many years ago the powers of alchemy were.
Эта игра, короче, выходила на бой.
Seas raged.
Advance.
Volcanoes erupted and all that kind of stuff. The earth cracked.
И раннеры бегают прямо на эмуляторе. Ну, вернее, на виртуальной машине Wii U.
So they kind of like sealed away the powers of alchemy in 4 elemental lighthouses. That was all back in the past. Now it's the current day.
И Virtual консоли.
And young Isaac has to evacuate because something is happening in the town of Vale.
Классическое RPG-шное прохождение. Просто встаем утром.
Mount Aleph is a shrine called Soul Sanctum, which is a shrine to the
своей деревне.
Soul Sanctum at the end of the day. And yeah, basically the people of Vale are just kind of a group of I guess talented individuals.
В общем, очень красивая игра для своей консоли. Прям мое почтение.
Like kind of magical powers of Wayard. Quick menu at the beginning, just to change our text speed to fast, because there's a lot of cutscenes in this game, and specifically all kind of front-loaded into this intro, which is about 42 minutes. So for the beginning of this race, both Bluezer and Plex are going to be going pretty ham today. This is going to be a very, very exciting run. I pretty much.
Это новый сейв, поэтому мы делаем настройки. Меняем, короче, сейв. Ой, вернее, меняем скорость прокрутки текста.
But they're with me for the beginning. To kind of help through this beginning bit because it's going to be quite a lot of cutscenes.
I flubbed the first menu. It bodes well for the rest of the run.
GG's, Bluezer. Congratulations on your win.
Good. Yeah, good race. Excellent.
GG's. Well played. Yep. See you next year.
И тут начинается, короче, ну как и классик из RPG, нашу деревню раскурочивают. Там это, значит, начинают какие-то булыжники сыпаться, люди умирают. Мы, в принципе, вот летучую мышь встречаем, но из боя с ней. Тут есть вот всякие враги, и это просто враги. Обычные болванчики, всякие грибочки и прочее. Да, короче, стихия буйствует. На самом деле, короче, вот этот мир игры. И он представляет собой плоский мир, как вот плоская земля. Вот. И он держится на маяках, по-моему, на святилищах, типа того. И, короче, эти святилища сломались, как обычно. Поэтому вот мы даже вот на нашей деревне ощущаем катаклизм. Нам надо все это починить на протяжении этой игры.
Ooh, same seed, maybe. We'll have to see. There's one more encounter before the end. We'll have to see how it goes. The reason it's not actually the same seed is because everything here is nuts. Although, oh hello, Blue got away first try, and
all right, okay.
Same seed. So the battle RNG, the actions taken by enemies when they get their turns, is based on the battle RNG. However, the chance to flee, whether or not
да, тут у раннеров, короче, разный рандом, каким-то пайпе, короче, завозят, не завозят там, то есть как повезет, вот у кого энкаунтеров больше, тот первый прибежал, но в принципе они достаточно близко идут.
So right now, the general RNG is just a typhoon of BS.
It's updating every frame at 60 FPS. So yeah, it's a little bit crazy right now.
But don't worry, Plexa can read the Matrix and knows exactly what's going on right now.
No, I can't.
I should give some backstory to these runners, because as I said, this is
говорят, раннеры уже читают каждые 60 кадров. Еще, конечно, а чем еще заниматься, даже РПГшки ранее. Только кадры считать. Капа. Ну, короче, тут всякие мужики тонутые за бревна зацепляются.
Let's not forget all the new people who have joined this year as well. Savasaka in particular, making great strides on the leaderboard. Conical, I forget everybody, Pure Spirit.
И не удержали мужики булыжник.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but the reason we're focusing on these two right now is Plexa is
Ловим синематографичные стоп-кадры.
Maybe a couple that you don't have, except one. Oh, how do you feel?
Fine, not interested in that category.
Oh, I see. Sure. Just wait for the reset grinding. Don't worry. And Blues started last year, late last year running. Was one of the newer runners. I mean, I think since the beginning of last year, I started running this.
Тут сразу появляются местные злодеи.
Since that point, there's been like a huge influx as like Golden Sun were kind of with the no S&Q categories coming into things for both Golden Sun 1 and 2. There's been a huge influx of runners. So it's been quite a whirlwind for the community. But Blueser in particular, joining last year, has put time into this game and has been very dedicated to this.
Происходит диалог с ними.
So much effort and has had so many runs.
И файт. Мы его проигрываем. И мы, в принципе, не то чтобы будем выигрывать файты с ними в РПГ, потому что проигрывать их всегда быстрее.
These first 4 encounters are guaranteed. We have to get those first 4, and we have to try and flee from them. And because of that, we'll see particular outcomes that we will just expect. Like if we get all fleas.
Yeah, this is a great seed for this, Bowie. This is a great seed for this because
nice,
we both have attacks first going into Soul Sanctum.
Just because of the way it works out.
Yeah.
It's super nice.
Yeah.
Ну и чиним нашу деревню после катаклизма. Тут очень большие катсцены, так что если вы не отошли в туалет на перерыве, то можете сделать сейчас.
I do. I have a $25 donation from Kessenchu that says, got some unexpected money, decided to share it with Save the Children. Second donation of the week. Love ESA, my favorite event of the year. Keep up the good work, everyone. Cheers from Brazil.
Небольшая такая демонстрация. Что тут можно делать? У нас вот есть всякие обилки, и мы можем манипулировать этими штуками. Короче говоря, в игре очень много пазлов на этом завязано, разнообразно. И в принципе будут всякие скипы.
It's a long intro.
Yeah. Also, currently on the screen.
50k before intro's over.
Yeah. Please, if you can do that, that'd be fantastic. Currently, we have the best character on the screen and the worst character on the screen. Jenna and Garrett, respectively. Garrett is rubbish, and Jenna is the best. That said, Jenna won't be doing too much for this run. Garrett will just about be doing more than Jenna, just about. The next 3 hours. So these are Isaac. Isaac's the main character with the blonde hair, classic blonde hair sword user. You're playing a JRPG. What do you expect? Jenna and Garrett are his childhood friends and other adepts in training. So adepts have this powerful ability called synergy, however you want to say it. I say it synergy because I like to.
Короче, да, это адепты. Все там друзья детства.
I do, yeah. It's psychic energy, so like get over it.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Заканчиваю там работу по восстановлению в деревне. Такая фантазийная классика. Деревню разорили, но не часто показывают, что деревню собрали обратно. Вот, так что скроллим диалоги.
Passing scholar who's like, you know, currently been studying in Vale for a little while, you know, looking into the powers of alchemy and is teaching the kids of Vale. So Isaac, Garrett, and Jenna are going to go and have a chat with Kraden. Kraden's a really old man, so obviously he's very wise, but that means he's going to have lots of lines of dialogue because the general rule in Golden Sun is the older the character, the more they talk. So obviously right now, Isaac's mum is banging on about all kinds of things, about, you know, what happened recently, because we should talk about the storm. The Mount Aleph boulder, which is a boulder on Mount Aleph, funnily enough, fell and crushed Isaac's father and Jenna's parents, and also Jenna's brother. So Jenna lost her entire family in that storm, and Isaac lost his father. So they're still.
Да, короче, вот героя потеряли вообще родственников в этом событии. Кто-то там батю потерял, вообще всю семью. Короче, вот мы стараемся жить как-то с этим. В принципе, вот уже мрак катастрофы сменился беззаботным идиотизмом. Там персонажа крышу там ломают. Весь день чинили и сломали обратно. Ну, в общем, продолжают жить дальше.
Really? How did that happen?
Wait, what?
You must have just got good stairs, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I got terrible stairs. Yeah.
Oh, the mashup. Actually, no. To be fair, Plex. No. Okay, yeah, it's 0.5 of a second in Blues' thing right now. So yeah, Blues is in the lead right now. Currently, close, tense race as we are 11 minutes into this 4-hour run, and you can see that these guys are just like on each other's heels. Going hammer and tongs.
Okay. If we're gonna bring up close races, there was a time where Bowie beat Blues' PB by what? 11 frames? 7 frames?
I think it was 11 frames. Yeah.
It was less than 10. Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Like 10. This game is long, and there's a ton of RNG, but we inexplicably keep ending up with runs that are very, very, very close to each other. Yeah, so it could just be this tight the entire way through, which would be amazing.
I did definitely stamp my Chad gamer status on Blues.
Рассказывают, что у раннера была легендарная гонка с Боуи, Ира, который здесь в комментаторах висит. И у них, короче, разница была в 6 кадров. Несмотря на то, что игра идет там типа 4 часа, там куча рандома, и они закончили гонку вообще притык-притык. 6 кадров, ребята.
I think Blue bumped
I thought it was something worse than that.
Yeah, some awful
I legit
reason.
think I legitimately think you saved like 3 seconds over my final sprint.
Yeah.
And there's nothing, you do nothing.
Yeah, it's just cutscene. I should note that all of this ribbing I am giving Blue. He is ahead of me on the leaderboard now. So, yeah. I just noticed the time. The time is 3:38 in the morning, which is my time in the game. Jeez. It's really interesting. So like Blueser was the second ever sub 340 time, which was for the longest time like a time that we were all going for, and I think Blueser and I were both grinding around the same time and probably had about 500-600 runs just like thrown to the wolves.
Прикапываем к местному знахарю.
And then suddenly Blueser just bloodied and battered, like crosses the line. Like I got a 339.59. I did it.
Yeah, it was actually a 339.59. It was indeed.
Yeah.
Ну, управляется с нами. Путешествие.
One of those, like, you know, just like a veteran, just kind of like, I've seen some things, man. I've seen some things. I made it. But yeah, so Creighton basically is going to take the children up to Soul
И мы идем
a place where no one should go.
Храм Солнца.
And we shouldn't be here. But Creighton, in his infinite wisdom, was like, "Come on, kids, let's
Ничего себе, они синхронизировались.
And find out the secrets of our history."
Тут такая секция небольшая. Надо прыгать по платформам в нужной последовательности. Они не... Вот ничего себе, да? Два энкаунтера случилось, ой, у каждого энкаунтера случилось в разных местах. И все равно они типа одинаково идут. Да. Вот сейчас Леха немного побыстрее пошел. О, Блюзеру вообще не везет. Блюзер, ну ты чё? Не можешь сбежать, не смог бежать. О, бой.
That there are just kind of these step windows that you get. You'll either get a really good step window, like 25 to 30 steps, or you get a really crap.
А там, наверное, на сервере ESA подкручивают видеопотоки, чтобы кровь закипала.
128.
128,000. My bad. Yeah, my bad. Like what times 8? What I said. Yeah, it's
О.
Quite a lot.
Close.
Yeah,
cheers,
man. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like for simplicity. I wrote a really bad algorithm to condense it between 0 and 32. That's the 0 and 30, sorry. So we often talk about like a rate 30 encounter being like the highest possible rate.
Вот, точный храм, это, короче,
particular rate value are about the same, so it doesn't really matter too much.
Один из нескольких храмов, которые нужны, чтобы там спасти вот этот плоский мир.
But, doesn't really matter in this run.
Yeah, it's overall.
We'll complain about when we get bad RNG.
Yeah, exactly. So ideally,
Двигаем статую, открываем
their second encounter, ideally, before this screen here. So the screen that Plexer is now on and Bluezer is entering actually has oh hello, attack first, very nice. Has these slime enemies. Now a chance to flee.
Сбегаем с рандомных встреч.
Versus the enemy's average party level. We're all level 1, and all the enemies in the dungeon, apart from those slimes,
Никаких рандеву.
level 2. So by the slimes being in the party, it shifts the chance to flee against us and a little bit more in the enemy's favor. So, if you can get an encounter as close as possible to this,
ну вот теперь уже Плеха получает по шее.
But we'll see. Looking pretty good for Plexer overall. Blues are just gonna.
Забавно, они так в разные стороны бегут.
And he's also been getting a lot worse luck, a lot more encounters that are failing to flee. That giggle there is one of you know, pain. Pain more than anything else.
И сразу же идут пазлы. Надо двигать статуи при помощи обилочек. Они тут открываются. У нас, кстати, спилы, да. Такой вот телекинез.
Move and retreat have been hotkeyed to L and R. On the Game Boy Advance, you can hit L or R to like hotkey spells to them, so you can do.
И у нас типа хоткеи на кнопочке.
You can just press the button and use the spell instantly. Move and retreat.
Can I get a time check?
То есть мы их типа сразу юзаем, как кнопку нажимаем. Они забинжены на там тел. На
And then 17, 30, 1740, 1741. Okay. So 12 seconds apart right now, entering the Soul Sanctum. I'm going to be doing their splits for them.
Although I just realized I had really good RNG at that point, and I wondered if the sub 49 bandits was in play. If it was, I'd have to play this next section differently.
Yeah. Sorry,
but I don't believe it is. Oh well. They have to be 1x to get that. Anyway, sorry.
What did you say it was?
Yeah.
20 something?
Yeah, it's 20 something.
Like 15, like 17.
Yeah, just so you know as well,
Всякие катсценочки пошли.
Sub 18 is like a sub 18 interior or an in area if you're Plexer. A sub 18 is kind of like what you want to see, but like obviously very low 17s are better ones. Have you fixed that split yet, Blake?
No, I refuse to fix it. Okay. I used, yeah, for a long time I fixed Mogul for it. There is a story.
Уже продолжаем, короче, использовать наши обилки. В принципе, с ними будут смешные обузы потом. Да, тут такой прикольный пазл. Вообще игра очень щедра на пазлы. Прям постоянно что-то новое, прикольное предлагает. Вот тут всякие вот... Надо статую поставить, чтобы они зеркалами смотрели на другую статую. Ну, выглядят прикольно, и как-то это анимировано. То, к чему приводит, короче, все это дело. Это весело.
Saturas and Minardi, those two shady figures who beat us up a little bit earlier, they tried to get into Soul Sanctum and get into the heart of Soul Sanctum, but they couldn't figure out this puzzle because they're really smart. So because they couldn't figure it out, it caused an eruption.
I resent that, Bowie. I
know. There is a reason why they didn't do it, of course. There was reasons behind the fact that they couldn't quite get it.
If you come here casually, your first instinct is to push the statue. And if you push the statue without first solving the puzzle over to the left-hand side, that triggers the storm and things get really dangerous. But because we left Kraden behind and he was on the bottom floor, he could see that the storm was happening and he tells us, "No, stop, you must fix it." So very clearly, Mr. Rosminati didn't leave anybody behind.
Да, тут, короче, этот пазл. Мы сначала его типа внизу решаем, а потом... Потом, короче, поставим эти фонари, иначе тогда у нас будет приятная встреча.
Place the safety key on the left, and then it means that you can unlock the pattern, and it swaps Soul and Luna. And then having Luna active allows us to go inside to the depths.
VVC это, короче,
the elemental stars lay.
Не совсем. Ну, это типа эмулятор, но да. Это, короче, магазин в Wii U. Да.
Saturas and Minardi want that power. We've gone in here with mithril bags given to us by Kraden because Kraden wants to grab the stars for the purpose of research.
Ну, это, короче, да, магазин, короче, игр в Wii U, и там много старых игр. Приобрести вот Nintendo хорошо подошла к этому делу, что можно играть в игры, можно покупать игры, которые нельзя купить. Это хорошо.
Yeah, this is very good. Yeah, Kraden's really old and he's very excited by stuff because he's a massive nerd, and trying to teach the kids about alchemy and what this means to be in the heart of Soul Sanctum.
Да, они играют с ГБА на Wii U. Вот, потому что это такое вот покупка Wii U, это один из немногих способов сейчас реально легально ранить игры на марафонах. Там, где запрещены всякие использования эмуляторов и прочего. Так, тут что произошло? Все окей. Как поется в известной песенке Do you like my car? Да, это гоночка. Жалко, это как не та гонка, где чуваки на рулях и педалях проходили игру. Вот это была реально гонка. Я уже не помню, что они там проходили. По-моему, Alien Isolation, да, Alien Isolation. Это была гонка, где чуваки на рулях играли. Ну, вот, короче, наши ребята, они вообще не удупляют, что тут происходит, потому что тут этот храм, он совершенно запутанный. Вот, ну тут дед говорит, ну вот по этим штукам можно прыгать. Ура. Вот, и они прыгают.
How the characters are feeling, how they're speaking, and all that kind of stuff. And it's all very, very fascinating stuff. This game, if you haven't seen it before, you may have noticed that it's absolutely stunning. Really, really good color palettes and interesting ways to design the sprites. These sprites are sprites, but they're pre-rendered. So like they're rendered and then they're kind of made into sprites afterwards. They are kind of like 3D images that then get kind of like made into sprite things instead. So it's a very fascinating way of doing it. They've been doing this for a while.
Так что, мол, тут уже, по-моему, раньше не встречалось. А, нет, ну встречался возможность прыгать. Ну вот теперь у нас такая пробежка нормальная. Следующий Котор, да? Совсем скоро. 3,5 часа. Вы увидите Котор. Там донат он ценится смешной на рандомайзер голов у персонажей. Вот это настоящее безумие.
Yes, Camelot Software Planning also make fantastic Mario sports game. And the Mario Tennis and Mario Golf GBA games are this engine in Golf.
Да, но ранг второго, который был вообще супер сломанный. Супер жесткий там. Нереально творилось.
They're banging. Yeah. So also, if you want to talk about some real swag, because Plex has got the mad swag, I'm going to see if Blues has got it too.
Oh, come on, of course he does.
Oh, he slightly does. Oh, hello. So half tile jumping. You'll sometimes see.
Зачем играть на бананах, если можно ездить банан?
You can only jump one tile. But sometimes our runners will
Никто не ответит.
like halfway between where they need to be, but then they'll jump diagonally along. Because if you get the
Потому что бананы ваш способ вернуться к манке.
But of course we want to save frames because we're speedrunners, right?
No, we want to save frames. We have nothing better to do during the intro.
Забавная сцена, где наши герои стоят и злодеи тут делают вид, что типа, что стоят тут как ни в чем не бывало. И окружают, да.
This peculiarly masked man is of no one important. It's not at all like Jenna's brother or anything like that, who she thought died previously. Don't worry about it. Are going to kind of they're saying, give us a star.
Появляются таинственные джентльмены в маске, розовые усики.
Again, they want the elemental stars to relight the lighthouses and bring alchemy back to the world. Wait a second, what's that going on? He's got something about this person being a guarantee of their safety. But how can a random dude who's definitely not Jenna's brother be a guarantee of safety?
Who knows? Maybe we'll find out halfway through the game.
Can you explain Camelot's desire to throw masks at us in a lot of games to very poorly cover up the identity of a person?
Oh, Arcanus. It turns out that actually is in
Ну и оказывается, короче, погибший брат этой девки.
He didn't die. So 3 years ago, he was saved by Saturis and Minardi. For the last 3 years, he's been with them. You can.
И он, короче, был спасен после этой катастрофы.
He's like, I have nothing to say to you. And then off he goes.
Gone.
Be gone, yeah. Also, fun note, he has a green cape in this game, Felix. His cape somehow becomes blue in TLA. I think it's because they needed him to pop more as a like protagonist character to run around with. There's a lot of green in the game, and he's very green heavy.
Вот, в игре очень много таких поворотов, короче, персонажи то умирают, то не умирают. И я это все объяснять не буду, это слишком сложно. Тут очень много таких поворотов. Вот, если вам вам нравятся такие маневры в духе бульварных детективов, от которых кипит кровь. то эта игра для вас. Она очень экшоновая по сюжету.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not too bad. Losers just chugging in drinks like, let's go, lads.
I have a couple donations.
Oh,
would you like to hear them?
Fantastic.
I would love to. Yes, please.
Yeah. All right. We have a $25 donation from Strawberry Speedruns. It says, "Hello, Golden Sun Racers. I'd be here to cheer for Blueser, but I am unfortunately soft-locked in Link's Awakening's D6, and therefore cannot. I have instead opted to scramble 9 eggs. Good luck, have fun, get the sleeps, and don't lose time in Colosso."
Cheers, Barry.
And that bid was towards the Super Mario 64 16-star.
Там в донатах была шутка про
which I am being told Scissor performed their own drum cover of the Super
жалко, когда умирает персонаж, которого ты качал, ну или он против тебя выступает по сюжету. Да, в общем-то, таких персонажей можно с самого начала качать. Какая Ириса спиналки? Не качайте Айрис. Я не говорю, что она умрет, но типа не качайте. И тут прилетает, короче, злой глаз.
After picking up the final elemental stars, you can see that it's no longer a beautiful, bountiful sea of alchemic powers. It's now a very angry volcano. As all volcanoes are pretty angry. Not the happiest bunch.
They also got rid of our good theme, which will return in like, I don't know, an hour. Yeah. Give or take. There's something about like the wise one being the custodian. It's he very clearly, or it very clearly, abides by a higher directive where it doesn't particularly care
Тут все разваливается.
People if it is for the overall betterment of Way Out as a whole. So a very interesting thing. I was gonna say antagonist, but not really. But it's such that you don't really understand what it's doing until the very end of the series, and even then you still have question marks. Speaking of which, our 4th game, Camelot, we could use some answers.
I'm just saying, they're going to. I know they will. I know.
И, короче, сваливаем отсюда.
Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, which was a game that existed on the Wii U, to Mario Tennis Aces with the story mode, to Mario Golf Super Rush with RPG elements and a reference to Shining Force 2.
Блюзер вообще немножко отстает, но пока не критично.
We are back. And Sega are going to be like, oh, thank God, finally. Please, take Shining. Just take it. we don't know what we did. Just take it. Good luck. Yeah, we'll see. And then Golden Sunfall. Easy.
So I want to point out something, because by now you've realized that this intro is really long and we're really struggling to kill time. So we're both using turbo controllers.
I'm not even using it. Look, here's proof.
What?
Они тут вступают в контакты странным глазом.
He's trying to make up time.
I am. I'm behind.
Oh God.
Flexer. Oh man.
Man, do I feel like a fool.
I had this long chat with Flexer being like, yeah, he's gonna do.
И он устанавливает
I'm gonna chill. And then we're gonna go. This guy's been tryharding since frame 1. Tryhard.
I can't believe he's done this.
Yep,
unreal.
Playing all the cards.
Damn, you know Blues is taking it serious when he's mashing. Can I get some mashins in chat?
Yeah. Oh mate, we need to have. You need to get an animated emote, which is just like a thumb, just like smashing a button. Yeah. Blues a mash.
Просто мэшат чуваки сейчас сидят.
Mr. Destructoid in his chat to represent the turbo, but I guess that's me today.
Но глаз вообще поясняет за всю фигню, всю базу.
It's slower than mashing, but it's way better for
принимаем к сведению.
and generally better for your physical well-being.
Yeah, So the whole turbo controller thing, just because there's always going to be people who are like, excuse me, but turbo is cheating in an RPG. The turbo is, first of all, it's not, but turbo is also at a frequency that's slightly lower than an optimal mash. So it's really, you're not really losing that much time. It's to save your thumbs, but it's like, you know, if you do want to get the faster times, there is an optimal way to mash. So it's a bit of a give and take there. So he basically talks to you about, just quickly, the wise ones, like, you can get out of here, it's going to be fine, you know, go forth and,
И сразу используем ретрит на выходе из той локации.
Awakening once again, you know, but we need to make sure that you don't die here, so get out, kind of thing. Obviously, the people of Vale are very upset because once again, in 3 years, Alep's having an absolute rager.
Заранее припасенный позволяет нам выйти в начало данжа.
It's 4 AM, Bowie, that's right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it is.
По-моему, они даже будут биндить ретрит на кнопку, чтобы юзать его очень часто.
We're gonna make this a really close and interesting race. You'll never have a dull moment. It'll be great.
Should we just jump in on cutscenes to give Bowie a hand?
Опять же, вот наша вся деревня тут ребята.
It's completely fine. I genuinely can do this. I'm just kind of like enjoying the moment now before I start getting into the serious like esports, bruh, commentary. I'm gonna be sitting there being like, and Dave, that was an amazing play. Can we get the analyst up? And they're gonna be like,
все собрались.
Let's have a look at these stats right here.
Вся деревня собралась, короче. Беспокоиться, там что произошло, мы тут полпати потеряли.
Some of us have been in the lab.
Oh god. I've seen the lab as well.
Ну это просто пока еще. Вот первый час игры. Тут вообще ничего не происходит, в принципе. Нам рассказывают в основном лор, сюжет. Да. И смотрим много катсценок. Даже близко, так сказать, не подошли к основному геймплею игры. Мы даже ни с кем и не сражались толком.
Very quickly as well, this cutscene here, I like to call this mode here like Game Boy mode. It's just like a sepia like filter, obviously, but Camelot uses this a lot in games. If you play like Shining Force 2 or anything like that, there'll be these scenes where nothing's said, but the characters act out what happened. So it's like telling the story through action, and you can basically get the gist of the fact that Isaac and Garrett are saying, well, we went through here, Garrett did something silly, so we had to run away and run around and stuff like that.
Kind of reminds me of Super Mario RPG, Bowie.
GG's Plexer on your win.
I had to.
It wouldn't be you without that, you know. How much you love your games, your video games. Yeah, it's just cool to see those kinds of things. Again, like I'm a massive Camelot fanboy. If you don't know me, I'm just the Camelot guy. That's what I do. The Camelot RPG guy, I should say, in case someone's going to be like,
и щелкаем в диалоге. Важно еще, что у нас в настройках игры было выбрано, чтобы диалоги прокручивались быстрее, насколько это максимально возможно. Просто слушаем прекрасную музыку игры. Наслаждаемся графикой. Тут такие отрендеренные трехмерные модельки персонажей, двухмерные спрайты. Как в старых стратегиях.
So it's a pretty cool like intro thing, and like you know, Garrett's like, I'll let Isaac decide, and Isaac goes, yeah, and Garrett goes, wait, what? Yes, Garrett. Like, I didn't think you'd say yes.
You could say no.
You can say no, yeah. And then the game just ends,
yeah.
Да, ну у нас тут, короче, всю вселенскую миссию спасителя возлагают. И мы, короче, не можем сказать нет. Ну или можем, но
We have a
типа игра
$50
закончится.
donation from Doravon. There's no comment, but thank you so much for that generous donation. We also have another $50 donation from Hooray Yogurt that says, "Fun Pog fact: Pog stands for Passion Orange Guava. Comes from a juice mix."
They are correct. Yeah.
That's not the wrong. You might hear my typing real quickly. I'm just going to sort out my sound options because.
There's a good like maybe 4 or 5 minutes left. So if you get a few more,
yeah, we got plenty of time.
Вот это вот
Once we leave the intro,
сцена, она, короче, идет в диалоге. 4 или 5 минут идут.
And everyone's like, "Oh, Flint, shut up."
Даже
Like,
если
I'll tell you one
скипать.
thing Flint is consistent. He loses us the exact same amount of time the entire time, whereas Quartz and Vine, on the other hand, you know, especially you, Blue.
I mean, I've said this before, but
Ну, для такого рано толковое.
his first
Трехное
tutorial is
время.
kinda, not that great. But the lad puts in some work, and
Вот когда в
he's
короткие
got
раны
his
добавляют
stuff together, and he puts
скроллеры,
on a
вот
damn
это
good show.
настоящая
He's got
боль.
resources and everything. He's got
Как в Resident Evil 3 ремейке или типа того.
He's got like a whiteboard and visual references. He's like, check this out.
Yeah,
Look at
it's
this.
really good.
is that a puppet show?
Pretty much.
You got like Punch and Judy. He's just like, you want to
And
get
how?
Boy, howdy. So I was talking about there's this like attention to detail in cutscenes, right? The dog run past, and the kid's like, "Where's that dog going?" And they continue the conversation, and it finds out that the dog's going to go and terrorize a cat. It just runs past, like, "Meow," as it runs past. So there's like that kind of background stuff going on. It's really, really fun.
Well, you say that every time, but I'm always annoyed you never mention Jenna and Garrett right at the beginning of the game, because you can see Jenna very carefully taking steps on the roof, and Garrett's just like...
Очень детализированная катсцена. Персонажи, короче, разговаривают, потом собака пробегает, они замолкают, но продолжают говорить, потом собака кошку гонит, короче, пробегает мимо.
You'll also talk about the girl involved, won't you?
Вот это, конечно, внимание к деталям.
It is pretty good, Yeah.
Especially because we just run right by her.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that you see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're now going to leave. Dora, Isaac's mum, is not there to see her off because she lost her husband and now she's losing her son too. She can't be there. You know? It's very emotional and very painful. And she said, Isaac, you know, promised to not come back until he finished his job. So, yeah.
У нас тут герои, короче, обещают
Really
не возвращаться, пока свою работу не выполнят.
I cannot play with a turbo controller. It is, quite frankly, it's a battle just to press buttons on this thing. It's good that it does it for me, because otherwise I'd have a really tough time. So
И мы встречаем новую механику игры, ну, в смысле, в этой игре это типа механика впервые рассказывается. Ну, короче, тут есть джины. И вот мы, короче, первого джина получаем на этом моменте. Я даже не знаю, как объяснить, что такое джины, но они типа как... Я хотел чихнуть, но я что-то не могу. Ну, короче, джины это типа, ну, это не покемоны, короче. Они как стенды больше работают, то есть они типа дают вашим персонажам какую-то силу, или как персона. Но при этом они, по-моему, их можно видеть на разных персонажах. Чтобы они использовали вот эту силу джинов. И мы, короче, будем собирать джинов на протяжении большей части рана. Мы соберем очень много джинов, которые будут помогать нам попадать в различные этапы игры. Или шаманки, действительно. Типа того. В общем, что-то схожее есть.
it's very, very, very fast, very, very clean. Every single menu in this game is just going to be absolutely.
Короче, ребята, качайте ваши хурьёку, чтобы стать шаман-кингами. Ох.
There are two techniques we have, which is, well, I mean, FGC inputs and then menu gliding.
И вот эти вот джины нам очень пригодятся в игре, потому что они помогут нам попадать в некоторые зоны. Тут как в метроидванях, короче, некоторые зоны недоступны, поэтому мы должны получать всякие новые обилки.
And because you can press all of these very, very quickly, you can do, like, for example, you know, if I wanted to move 2, you can do a fireball input, roll down to forward, and you'll go 2 across. Or you can do a dragon punch input, and you'll do 3, right? That's a tricky one that is kind of precise, but also pretty fast. But the technique that our runners today are going to be using is going to be menu gliding. And this is a thing that is very, very good.
Продолжительная катсцена показывает, что даже знать пострадала, затронула там последствия вот этих катаклизмов.
So you can bind, select, and start to them. And what select and start do is that when you're holding right and you press select or start,
там
when in the
мост
battle menu,
сломан,
it duplicates the input.
еще какая-то глыба упала.
So in order to go 3 spaces from attack over to summon, for example, we'll press right, start, select, and that glides it over, which makes for incredibly fast menuing if you know where everything is. If you need to go to, like, you know, Ginny, and then select a Jin to use, and then summon, and all that kind of stuff. If you know where they are, menu gliding becomes the most impressive technique in this run. And you'll see it a lot from both runners, because they're both, like, very good.
And you'll also see us do it wrong a bunch of times.
Короче, нам раннеры будут показывать приколюки с джинами.
I'm trying to sell you guys to the audience here. I don't know.
Yeah, thanks for trying.
No worries.
So this is also very... So what I'm referring to is that if you do it too fast, it triples your input instead of doubling it. And you have to get really unlucky to hit it, but you can hit it. It's an execution thing. It is consistent. And when that happens, we'll overshoot. We'll go to, like, items, or we'll go to summon when we meant to go to Jin, or we'll go down 3 spaces in a menu instead of 2, and we call those...
Раннер говорит, что тут... Они, короче, балуются с турбокнопками, и порой игра сильно далеко дает. Слишком много, короче, инпутов выдает. Поэтому получается, что они там, типа, случайно там промахиваются по меню и попадают там, выкидывают предметы и прочее. Так, лутаем всякие штуки, секретки. И это очень полезный лут, он нам пригодится, не сомневайтесь.
These are bandits, as I said, they're bandits, and we've come to Vault because we're just looking forward to going somewhere else. We meet this young kid called Ivan, who's a bit weird, has the ability to read people's minds. Turns out he's also an adept. Should mention that Isaac is a Venus adept, Earth, Garrett is a Mars adept, Fire, and Ivan is a Wind adept, Jupiter, or Jupiter adept, Wind.
И он, короче, подозрительных личностей.
So what he's going to do is he's going to read the mind of these bandits, these shady characters who have shown up, to find out who stole some items from the people of Vault.
Подозрительные личности оказываются
a family heirloom is missing, a religious icon
известными
is missing,
смутьянами.
and a very, very important item that Ivan has been safekeeping, called the Shaman's Rod. Those are the things that have gone missing. We're trying to find them. Ivan does mind read and finds out that it is indeed those 3 who stole it, and it's somewhere in the inn. So remember the guy? He's not on the ladder anymore, but that woman, she's looking left, right, and shakes her head. She doesn't know where he is.
Кстати, запрыгиваем на крышу здания, тут небольшая секция. Вот, и мы спасаем тавернчика, связанного настоящего. И тут сундуки всякие тоже испытаем.
I do want to tell you about the bandits fight. Okay, so this is the first kind of like big fight that we really get. The run doesn't start in earnest until after this fight and we get into the next dungeon, but this is the first fight that we're going to be doing. The bandits have up to 4 heals. There'll be items that the enemies can use, and they'll only be able to use items when previous items have been used. So You've got the main bandit leader in the orange in the middle, and you've got two thieves aside him in the purple. Obviously, we want to take down the bandit leader. The thieves on the side can heal at any point. However, the bandit leader has a smoke bomb first that he can use before he has 2 herbs. So it's very important that we can get those. We want to see as minimal healing as possible. The idea is to put all of our focus onto the bandit and do the splash damage from our spells onto the thieves on the side to hopefully get a kill. We're trying to count a little bit. We're going to go Venus, Flare into Ray. That's how quick Plex is menuing it. It's very attractive menu. Same with blue.
У нас тут магия лупит вообще. Здоров. Так что гасим этих смутьянов.
On Blues' side as well, but no extra healing it seems. No, there's a heal comes out and then an attack. Okay, not great.
Блю вообще агрессивно идет, без не хилится.
Not too bad though. HP looking okay. A double proc onto Isaac would probably kill Blues' Isaac, but that's fine. One bandit down, two thieves down, but there's a heal on the bandit, so he has to do a little bit more extra damage there. Smoke bomb finally comes out on Plex's side as well, so he's going to be hoping to not see a heal. Garrett's in danger, but it's not majorly worrying right now. Looks like it's going to be fine. Summon Ray should be enough to, or goes for the attack. Slice! He's okay. There's the Venus, and that's not killed just yet. Flare comes out. Okay,
так, ну не везет, не везет. Пока затянутый файт уже пошел.
Okay, cool. Roughly the same.
Ну, в принципе, они оба одинаково справляются. Возможно, даже Блюсер немножко догоняет Леху. Что довольно круто. Он старается.
Right, I should talk about what I was talking about there, because there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, smoke bombs. Enemies that have multiple items have to use their items in order. So it's very important that when the smoke bomb comes out, that then the heal is on deck for the bandit. The bandit leader has the most HP, so him being healed affects the fight the most. So yeah, a lot. 3 heals coming out is almost all of them for both runners. So it wasn't the best, but still getting a sub 50 bandits is very solid. So how does magic and damage work in this game?
В принципе, да, делать бандитов в районе 50 минут это достаточно хорошее время. Так что оба раннера красавы. На Вайсите был... Ну, короче, там сильно больше времени было. Раннер немного поплыл там в середине раненого.
Keeping an eye on damage rolls as well to see if you can focus to get a quick kill on one of the thieves as well, potentially if you need to cover damage. It's a nice thing to get Isaac to do that. So summoning is a very important thing in this game. The whole tutorial that we were talking about that Flint does. So Flint is our first Venus Ginny that we get, an Earthen Ginny. So the way that they work.
Не надо тут рассказывать еще, что. Короче, мы. Что, короче, саммоны наши очень полезные штуки.
And increase your character's classes based on how many Ginny they have and what type of Ginny they have. So, for example, Isaac is Earth.
И, короче, персонажи бафаются не только от качества, но и от количества джинов. Чем больше, тем лучше. В общем-то, у них класс формируется. Классы, короче, ну тут, знаете, классы, как я бы сказал, классы, короче, в этом самом Kingsbound, типа просто апгрейдим свое звание, и за счет этого у нас мультипликатор всех параметров, короче, увеличивается. То есть у нас в зависимости от того, какой у нас ранг, то есть в зависимости от того, сколько у нас джинов, чем больше у нас джинов, тем больше у нас ранг. Чем больше у нас ранг, тем больше у нас... я забыл, куда это ведет. Короче, тем больше у нас множится очки статов. Да. И получается, что, короче, много. Так вот, механика, в принципе, этой игры работает.
But what you can then do is, as you gain more Ginny, you can pull those Ginny together and get 2, 3, or 4 of an element.
И, короче, джиннов можно сливать, чтобы они становились более сильными.
Summoning Venus early with Isaac allows him to get Flint back to then deal more damage. So there's like
так, ну Блюстеру не везет. Он не может сбежать. Это потеря времени, он так отстает. Вот, оба в пещерку идут, тут всякие пазлы. Двигает булыжник.
That was a lot of information to take in, and I appreciate that, and I apologize, and those of you who have the patience for that, I greatly appreciate that.
That was fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
But yeah, it's very important to note that when it comes to the fact that these elements can be pulled together to deal massive damage, is that's how we're going to be dealing damage and fighting most bosses. Very rarely will we be using Ginny for the purposes of gaining stats and changing class to gain stats that way. It's actually going to be used to get as many summons together and try and summon rush the boss, or in most instances have a rotation of summons and Djinns consistently going.
В общем-то, вот я перечислял выше всякие механики игры. Но нам ничего не нужно, нам в основном типа саммоны нужны, чтобы просто спамить саммонами по боссам. Неважно там, какие у них там силы уже, в принципе.
With Venus, level 1 Earth summon, the caster will get plus 10 elemental power, which increases the damage they deal with more Earth moves. So that when you summon again,
и, в принципе, зависит еще, это в обратную сторону работает, что на разных классах по-разному работает еще вот эта механика. То есть джинны могут быть более эффективными на определенных классах персонажей. На, скажем так, на тех бойцах, с которыми они более совместимы.
Ray into Venus will give him a nice chunk of experience and level up both Garrett and Isaac. Isaac we want to see hitting level 3, and ideally he gets in both level 2 and 3, he needs to get 1 agility plus 4. Stats aren't massively random, but they do fluctuate. So, on average, it's PP3, attack 4, defense 2, agility 4. Now that can go down 1 or maybe up 1 for certain stats for certain characters, based on their archetype, based on the stat. But if Isaac gets at least 1 agility 4, he will outturn the next Ginny we're going to be fighting, Forge. If he gets a speed 3 at both level 2 and 3, Forge will outturn Isaac and makes for an incredibly scary fight against Forge. Because most Ginny, when we fight them, have increased abilities based on the norm, or the normal kind of strength of the enemies around here. I haven't seen if Plexus got his fight yet. Have you, mate?
No, Loser's creaming me right now.
Yeah, Blues is in Используем мобилки. Getting those extra stats also increases our party's average level, which increases our run chance as well. At some point, he's going to have to just take any old fight. He wants to get a good fight, so Garrett goes up 2. But if need be, if this next fight isn't a good fight, he's going to have to take it to get level 3 on Isaac.
Right. We're doing level 2.
Or we're just going to go for level 2. Okay, that's going to be rough. So he's not going to outturn Forge. He's going to have to play a much more defensive game here. So Flint heals with Garrett just in case. Ray comes out blast and it hits Ivan. Ivan will die to anything if blast is involved. So he's going to heal Ivan to make sure.
Yeah.
Venus attack Ray. Not looking good. Blast again. Venus attack Ray. Yeah, you saved. Okay, cool. Yeah. So we should talk about the fact that this is no save and quit, right? This is a marathon. Things can go wrong. The main manipulation we want to avoid is... Yeah, that's not good. The main manipulation we want to avoid, and there's a flea on Beluza's side. The main manipulation we want to avoid is battle manipulation, and this requires a hard reset. So we are going to allow ourselves certain fights to go in a particular way. We're going to save and do a soft reset only. This resets the general RNG, but not the battle RNG. The battle RNG is where we can manipulate the enemy movement. So we'll have certain saves for that reason. It looks like Blues have got his speed +4, so he's out-turning Forge on his side. Another blast. He is going ham on you. That should be fine, though, because there's...
Нормально, я взломал. Ой. И, по-моему, тут вообще все повисло. Да. Ребята, трибут.